And we are live, ladies and gentlemen. And then there were 15. 15 of the 20 Premier League teams remain in the EFL Cup. Arsenal travel to Port Vale. UCL draws today. United decided to have an epic crash out of the EFL Cup. Second round, Grimsby away. We're not even in September yet, and then man season is over. Man didn't even let their kids go back to school before they started the madness. But we'll get into all of it, people. More to follow on BBK Sports. It's all things football. Listen to the music. Rock on, come in. I will not change. No matter how bad it gets, I will not change. That's something you say when you're good. That is a statement you make when you are doing bits. I will not change. I have a star player. He is not playing. I'm not playing him, but I'm not changing my ways for this star player. But I'm winning. I will not change. But when you're shit and you're doubling and tripling down that you're not shit, it's problematic, especially when you are the manager of that football club. That football club who always have something to say about everybody else's football club when you are seven fucking teams. Yeah? Them ones. Now, people. You know the elephant in the room. Big up to the assemble, big up to Jagans, big up to Bluebird in the building. But that's what it is, right? Most of the people that I know are Manchester United fans. Sometimes them men wake up, they don't even brush their teeth, and they have something to say about Arsenal. I can't tell you how many Man United are finishing above Arsenal this season that I got before the season even started. When the schedule came out, and it was Man United at home, Arsenal. Them man were finishing above Arsenal. Not finishing above Liverpool, not finishing above City, who are the runaway favorites to win the Premier League. Finishing above Arsenal. Always got something to say about Arsenal. Now, if you go to my channel, people, you'll see about 320 videos. Not one of them is a Man United stream. I have never done a stream on Man United ever since I started doing content. I've discussed Man United when I have Manchester United fans on the panel or when they're relevant to a result. I have never made a stream dedicated to Manchester, but every content creator that I know who's a Manchester United fan, I've done complete 2-hour streams, hate-alongs, up-alongs about Arsenal. Why is that? Is it because of clicks? Is it because they know that they're going to get traction if they talk about that club? But no. Today, I'm going to go talk about them. I'm going to talk about them pussy hoes today, yeah? No. I'm going to cook them before I move on to my Arsenal piece. Because it couldn't have happened to a better set of fans. As that man have essentially postponed their season until January of 2026 when the FA Cup starts. That's the only thing they have to look forward to. They're nowhere near the league title. Nowhere near it. Yeah? And at this point, if I'm Burnley, I'm disappointed with a draw on Saturday. If you're Scott Parker, you should be under pressure if you lose to this shit bunch. You see that damn Prada pussy hole, that Moncler merchant, that Balenciaga bandit, that Fendi fraud that's showing up to Barnsley with 5 defenders on the pitch. A back 3 against the Division 4 side. This man took the job in the Premier League and it was already being, oh, he's better than Arteta. Now, you men already know how I feel about Mikel. But I don't take this random slander that has no merit to it. Yeah, shit, he's a used car salesman, bro. He's the only manager in the history of football that I've never seen have a bounce. How you go an entire Premier League season and not win back-to-back games? That's the definition of no new manager bounce. Then you're doubling down and you're coming out blaming your players and all this shit. You know, a bad workman blames his tools. What other manager has come into a club and has gotten a whole new front line? An entire new front line. Sesko, Cunha, and Buemo. And Cunha and then Buemo are good players because most Arsenal fans, to include myself, wanted them at Arsenal. I think Mbeumo would have cooked at Arsenal. I think Cunha is a baller. He can play up front. He can play in the 10. He can play out left. But somehow Mbeumo's out there looking like Garnacho now. Cunha is 00 whatever. It's mad. But they deserve this shit. It couldn't have happened to a better bunch. Man, them sitting there talking about I will not change. This is like a 600-pound chick with 5 kids playing hard to get. You can't be out here playing hard to get, bitch. You already hard to want. How the hell do you show up to a Division 4 side with 5 defenders on the pitch? But what happens is these assholes from Manchester United, they universally back themselves in the corner because they all wanted Ten Hag out. So now they have to back the shit that this manager says and does. As if this was Ten Hag, they would be calling for his head. You know, how is Sesko taking the 10th penalty? He's supposed to be your marquee striker. He rejected Arsenal for Man United. Man made a literal stream saying Sesko rejected Arsenal for Man United. But you kick 9 penalties before he kicks 1. What are we doing? January 2026 is the next meaningful football match. And that's the one the Premier League teams enter the FA Cup. And are dead. Dead. The United fans, they haven't acted me. Now, big up to Wahaha, because we have one that usually comes through here. Named Wahaha. Good dude. Chose a little bit, but he is a good dude. But the rest of you, Man United fans, you motherfuckers, you can go eat a bag of baby dicks. And stop deflecting. You ain't talking about Liverpool. I'm talking about about Arsenal. Talk about City. Go into your little corner. Shut the hell up. Sit down and do some crayons. Now, off my little rant. Off my little rant. Let me get back. Let me get to these legends in the chat. I see Bean Spontus. I see Jagans. I see Bluebird. I see, hey man, big up to you all, man. Big up to the assembly. Finally catch a live stream. Yes, my brother. Big up. Big up to you, man. Gary, what you saying to me, bro? Bean Spontus. Big up, brother. Big up to you every single time. Who said Grimsby? Cooper in the building. LFC Monster. Yeah, I'm looking at Burnley now. Burnley, if you lose to these, man, you are dead food. Scott Parker, rise. And I think they got City after that, after the international break. You know what? Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, man, big up. Relegation 6-pointer in game week 3. Big up to BX Gunner in the building. Yeah. Hey, one of the best days in football history. Grimsby. 4th division. Are they even leading League 2? Are they even top of the table in League 2? Because I remember Man United fans, they crashed it on Liverpool last year when Liverpool lost to Plymouth. Oh, they crashed it hard. I think Cass went and bought a Plymouth shirt so he could troll Monza never a foul. This is the level that man do, but now they want to deflect to everybody else. Oh, talk to me in there. No, you can't talk to anybody. You have to be quiet. Like, how do you spend so much money and still look so cheap? Yeah, that damn Moncler merchant. You go into the Moncler store and buy all that and come out looking like a bum. I see man at Fulham taking off his clothes, man stripping. If that game against Fulham had went 30 more minutes, he would have been naked. He would have been in the damn socks and a wife beater. And came out his sweats, walking around in a white tee, sitting there playing dominoes with a tactical board. When you started, and that team that started, Dorgu started. Right, Jesus Christ. Listen, I'm here for it. I am here for it. I get the feeling that the United fans won't share about people. Big up to Beans on Stone. Smash the like, people. Big up to Beans on Toast, man. Amarim is the worst Man United manager since war times, I think. Well, he is absolute garbage. And that's what I'm saying. You can't be there sitting there talking about I will not change when you fit into this category. Imagine if Ten Hag came out and said this is the worst team ever. Brother, you're a part of the team. Because it doesn't run, I didn't have a preseason. Okay, now you had a preseason. You can't run that. Matter of fact, your entire last season was a preseason because you were given a free hit. And like I said, these men universally wanted Ten Hog out. He's too good for it. They're gonna turn him into shit. They are gonna turn him into absolute bin juice. Mateus Cunha is sitting there looking like, what the hell did I just do with my career? Like, he's gonna play in the Brazil squad because he's gonna be in top-notch shape. But brother, Dragons, where's the BBK? Man, you are gonna get cooked this weekend. Brother, if Burnley is looking at them, man, like, brother, we can get something here. Big up to Godfrey, man. BBK All-Star. What you saying, bro? Because what happened yesterday was really Grimsby saw the Man United coach pull up the bus, the big Man United players walk off of it. They were like, oh man, Man United are here. It's Man United. And then they go on the pitch and they start to play ball, and then they realize, nah, bro, these men are shit. These men can be got at, and it should have been 3-0. It should have been 3-0. Game should have never even gone to pens. But once them men realized, hey man, these men are shit, and you men have played ball. I'm pretty sure that most of you, if not all, in the chat, pick up to all 23 of you locked in, played ball, kick ball at some level. And you know when you see a team walk up that you thought could play, and then you start to play, and you see that man can't control a ball, man can't dribble. So whenever a pass is zinged into him, you know he's going to take a heavy touch, so you know where the ball is going to end up. You just nick it off of him. Once you realize, man, of shit, you don't even have to put out the amount of effort that you would do if you expected them to be good. That's what happens. Grimsby was like, these men are not that good, and they can be got at. So let's get at them. LFC Monster said, you are so right. Football won last night. So glad it happened. And I know, right? LFC Monster Beans on Toast, all the non-Arsenal fans in the chat. I know that the Arsenal fan base can be unbearable. I know. Because I fight with more Arsenal fans than I do with any other fans. But on this side of the fence, we know where we fit in with the big boys. We know where we fit in the recency of good football team. But them men out here talking like they are sitting at Real Madrid's table, talking about, hey, we can go get this manager. We can go get... No, the hell you can't. No one is leaving their damn job to go to that job. It's a poison chalice. We know how much Ruben Amorim was on at Sporting Lisbon, and we know what he is on now. Man ain't turning on that. Well, if you turn on that type of money, your wife will leave you, brother. You know, you're turning on generational wealth to put your kids and your grandkids through college. You know what I'm saying? So you can't go pry away no Eddie Howe right now, or no, you might can pry away Iraola, but you're gonna have to pay him as such. And I rate him as a manager. But I'm seeing Man United fans turn their nose up on managers like De Zerbi and Thomas Frank and Thiago Motta and Xabi and Nagelsmann, who he hasn't managed in the Prem. All right. Managed in the Prem. Good managers at that. Not like the English FA are producing good managers. You see that English manager up in Scotland, he's about to get himself sacked this weekend. If he makes it to the weekend. What's his name? The one that managed Southampton last year. The mad one. Big up to every one of you in the chat still. And I don't normally cook United because I made a vow a couple months ago, when I saw the man tanking the season. I was like, I will not discuss Man United on this channel until two things happen, until two conditions are met. Until they're in the top half of the table and until they're on positive goal difference. So by that logic, I shouldn't even be talking to him. But them man at me every single day. We're finishing above Arsenal. We battered Arsenal in match week 1. Okay, bro, you can go away with the battering. We'll take the 3 points and move. Ruben Amorim also told Sesko he was going to be the 10th penalty today. Brother, the striker that's supposed to know where the net is. How did he even know that he was going to get to 20 to 10 kicks? That means he knows Anana is shit, but he still started him. Criminal, my brother. Big up Beans on Toes, bigging up Godfrey, man. Godfrey in the building, man. Godfrey the legend. What the guy. It was really grim for United. They got moved too. Grimsby deservingly won. It wasn't a smash and grab or anything like that. Grimsby actually moved to these men. But they're still unbeaten. Fair play. Feel bad for Man United, says Gary. No, I don't. Nah, right. It couldn't have happened to a better set of fans. When I saw man making Big up to AJ in the building. I see man making streams talking about Sesko rejected Arsenal because he really wanted Man United. Okay, have him. Have him. I see man trying to do it outside of the boot toe poke and kick the ball out of bounds last week away at Fulham. You know? There's a reason why the manager has to start 5 defenders. Put 5 defenders on the pitch. Away at Grimsby. Really? I don't even know any Bournemouth, any Burnley players, right? I think Kyle Walker's there. I think Obafemi is there, a guy that played for Southampton a couple of weeks ago. But as much as you all in the chat of football savants, I'm pretty sure you man can't name the Burnley starting 11 on Saturday. But you can't sit here with any degree of chest that Man United are going to beat Burnley. I was on the Red Pitch podcast last night saying surely he has to beat Burnley. Surely. I think they ought to beat Burnley comfortably, 3-0. But I said that about Grimsby, and I come home and I turn the TV on and I see Man United are 2-0 down. What? But they probably will beat Burnley. No, they have to. They must. And then they go into the international break with a lifeline. Because what wasn't sorted out in the preseason, surely will be sorted out over 2 weeks international break, yeah? Lord, it's a mad one. I'm most focused on where Eze starts. Arteta has no questions asked. Okay, I'm going to start this, Gary. I'm going to start that one because, after I finish the United cooking, and I think I'm about done. Appreciate that segue. But let me just go through the rest of these comments to make sure I didn't miss any pertinent to the conversation because I know you, man, cook United in your group chats as well. Amarim Worm's out of his United contract, in my opinion. He hasn't tried to win. Yeah, there's something there. There is something there. Man, against Fulham where they're trying to win the game or should be trying to win the game, man is bringing on center backs, And the man has coached the player and coached the player out of Kobe Manu, who was supposed to be the next big thing. Like, that team that started yesterday should have won, but should have. Ahmad, the Ivorian Messi is what they told us, now. They said man was the Ivorian Messi, that damn Saeed. He started yesterday. Who else started yesterday? Let me go through this damn lineup. I know they had 5 defenders on the pitch. I know they had a back 3. Mano started, supposed to be generational. Ahmad, Cunha started. Let's go play 90. Dorgu, Ugarte, Maguire. Oh, my goodness. More than enough to beat Grimsby. Grimsby just realized, like, these man ain't it. And United pull this faded with the quickness. Yeah. So now, hey, pay Cunha, the bag. Man demand 200, you're going to have to pay him 200 because you have nothing to offer players. Nothing. Garnacho, Rashford, and Anthony are sitting somewhere like, glad my name isn't attached to that. Big up to BX Gunner again. So the people saying they feel sorry for United and I thought they're falling. I'm like, fuck you. I don't feel bad for me. Long may it continue. Yeah, but this brother here, Russell Martin, he's with Lucy Pinder. He may be sacked tonight. If he loses at the weekend, oh Jesus, yeah, dead shit. Whoever loses, this could be another Sakiko. Because I'm not sure those fans up there are too happy with Brandon either. Amarim hiding on the bench was hilarious. That Gavin, that right there, where's your leader? Where is your king? Imagine you go home and you turn on Sky Sports as a player and you see your manager in the dugout cowering like a Mitch. You know what a Mitch is? It's a man. Yeah. As much as everyone banters United, it's not good for British football reputation for United is to be bad. They are an institution, to be honest. They are a massive institution. Massive. They need to read the room. They need to read the room and understand that Ralph Ragnick was right when he said open heart surgery. That boy bigging up Darren, Caribbean King. All right, Darren, that's your moniker from now on. You don't know it. I got stick. As it's been said elsewhere, the kids ain't even back at school yet. United are out of a cup. January 2026, LFC Monster. Them man have postponed the start of their season. Them man didn't want to participate. 1 game a week. They're an already bloated squad. You have less games to play now. So no excuses, right? They must ascend up the table. Also, I think it was another section of the Carabao Cup to add more salt to the wound. Ever using Texas sport against Frisbee is dark, right? That's a man that's out of his element. Like he's reaching, like I have no plan. I'm out of ideas. Let me put some magnets on a strip and see if I can stimulate some space for someone to run into. Nah, bro, you got our coach or played bodies. Absolute joke. Big joke. Uh, that's a fucking use the Frisbee town. Hold my beer. That man said, "Hold my beer. Watch this." Darren Martin, they really are, and we've had our banter errors, but never dropped to the laughing stock point to the football and one levels United ever had. 15th, you know. Yeah, I said it to him. Get to the top half and get out of negative goal difference, and I will discuss United on a serious level. They can't even do that, and that's not even big club level. Imagine me telling a West Ham fan or something, get to the top half of the table, but brother, it's long. It's long. Now I might have egg on my face because next week on Monday, when I do my prediction show for when the transfer window closes, on Monday, that's when BBK Sports will do my top 6 predictions, golden boot winners, the relegation sides. But I did say on our stream, you know, I can't hide from it. I did say that this year I think the top 6 will reset. The traditional top 6 will be reset. That means Man United will be finishing the top 6. I might have to revisit that now. And this is why. But we'll see. We'll see if them man take a L to Burnley at Old Trafford on Sunday. Now, big up to Gary B Money. Gary says to me, I'm more focused on where does Eze start. Arteta, he starts. No questions asked. Okay, fair. He starts. He does start, Gary. He must. Now, the where is very important, right? The where is very, 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 very important. Because if he starts out left, that opens up another question. If are we going to start at captain, or are we going to start the 18-year-old away at Anfield? I heard Kenny Kent say, Arteta, you have to put your balls on the table. You have to put your nuts on the table. You know, it takes a lot of fortitude, a lot of bravery to put your nuts on the table. Because they might get crushed. Yeah? Do we think that Arteta has the intestinal fortitude to start an 18-year-old away at Burnley when his captain is fit? And if Odegaard is fit, then questions have to be asked on him, innit? And like, bro, you just you felt some shoulder pain and you bowed out against Leeds at home. You're supposed to will this team to a Premier League title. But I actually do believe he will start, you know. I do believe Odegaard will start. So it forces me to believe that Eze will be playing left wing on Sunday. Now, can he cook there? Probably. I would be more comfortable with Eze getting into those spaces. You see those spaces that Martinelli gets into. And you're like, okay, now can something happen? He's one-on-one with the fullback. Now something can happen. I think if Eze finds himself in those positions more often than not, he will get by his man and deliver a good service for Gyökeres, or a good far post run for Saka, or a diagonal cutback for the captain, or for a Declan Rice to run onto, or a Zubimendi late run into the box. I do believe that. However, you know how sometimes you see Martinelli in these spots and he's wide open? Sometimes that is a scheme. Sometimes that he is left open. Managers will assume risk on the right side of our attack, to double up and triple up on Saka and assume risk on Martinelli because they know his quality is low. The onslaught is a very smart manager. He's very tactically astute. So I do believe that he will plan for Eze to be incorporated in the squad. So during training this week, okay, if Arsenal start with this formation, here's what we're going to do. If they start with this formation, here's what we're going to do. Or wait on my instructions based on when the lineup comes out. That pre-team talk, when he knows what he's up against, he will have a tactical scheme to try to slow down Eze. Because he just played against Eze in the Community Shield. So he has recent video evidence on him. You know, and Eze has been in the Prem for a while. There is tape on Eze. Big up to AJ Please like the stream if you haven't already. If you leave, hey, let me see what we're on. We're on 14. We got 21 watching. We're on 14 likes. Okay, I can vibe with that. 50% engagement. Vibe with that. Big up to you, legends, man. Big up to you. The assemble says Spuds are after Bournemouth winger Arteta does Bertha know he won't be signing for us. Won't be signing for Spurs. Is it Semenyo? So let me see. I got a graphic this morning from one of my friends at the Red Pitch podcast. Let me see if I can find it. Um, if I may put it on the screen here. Um, 1 second, people. And it reads, breaking news. Breaking. Arsenal still have £134 million left to spend this summer before reaching their 302 FFP limit, according to Squawka. Now, I don't know how reliable this source is, all right? But it's based on Arsenal. You're allowed on the FFP. You're allowed to lose up to like £150 million per calendar year or something like that, or financial year, whatever. But however, the net of it is our Champions League finishes and our second league finishes payout have amassed the club a massive amount of revenue over the past 2 seasons. So Arsenal do have money to spend, and this is why the sell to buy thing annoyed me in the beginning when we were talking about it. Oh, we need to sell to buy. No, we had the money. We knew that. Arsenal head into the closing stages of the transfer window in a very strong financial position. Now, if we have 130, now I don't know if this included the 30, however much we're going to pay for that Leverkusen defender Piero, but money is there. Now, if we have 134 million, pounds, let's say we throw some money at Rodrigo. Let's say, come on, boy, come on. Now, of course, I've already wished he would be in the squad going to Anfield on Sunday. That way, I'll be knowing that hey, Eze could be in the 10, and we have two of them. We don't have any left wing problems. We don't have any right wing problems, and we can go give Liverpool our best shot. Big up to Brazil in the house. Big up to you, bro. You are good. But where we at? But Semenyo is a good player. But I'm going to be consistent with the level that I want our left-hand side to be. And I'm going to say Bobby Perez. And I think Rodrigo is the closest to that on the market right now. I pray that we hijack another jab to Spurs. You know what? The North London Derby is going to be fire this weekend, Not this weekend. I mean, this season. I think I circled it on my calendar, but I forgot it because I really don't play Spurs anymore. I don't think they're good enough to beat us in the Premier League this season. So, not really bothered to pull off the hat trick. Big up to Jam Boy. BX gonna say, I fed into the hype tower and I picked up the third kit. No, with some new Arsenal slides, these signings that be moving mad. No, he caved. Oh shit, BX Gunner, you caved to the pressure. Now, mine is probably well, yeah. My birthday is next month, so I know the wife is gonna. She's probably watching this right now from the car, and I know she's gonna go in the armory and do that third kit with. Jesus, I'm not even sure I like the third kit. That's the one with the white in it, yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure I even like the one with the white in it. All right, so put some more red in the damn kit. Need some red and yellow. Red and yellow. That boy, the Arsenal Spurs derby will be epic, especially if they all score. Brada. Deans. I want Eze to score at the toilet bowl and shush the crowd. Xavi Simmons to Spurs would be wild. I think the thing with Xavi Simmons is I think he's gonna have a Premier League adjustment period as well. We see Verts trying to adjust. We see Nkunku didn't adjust. We see a lot of players come from that German league that don't adjust well. So Xavi Simmons, he's a small guy, isn't it? He's a tiny little person, and I don't mean that in a disrespectful way, right? But the Premier League is nice. Oh no, he's not. He's 5'10". Okay, who is that? I think he was listed somewhere at 5'6". I got that wrong. But yeah, he's gonna have some adjustment in the Premier League. But he can go his first. I'm not really keen on him. Good player though. Off the right or drop Odegaard, which is not going to happen. Yeah, Odegaard is not going to get dropped. I agree. And here's the thing, right? I do believe if Arteta rushes Odegaard back or plays Odegaard when he's not fully fit, it's cowardly. I do. Because Odegaard at 100% has underperformed. Fully fit. No reported injuries. Fully fit and go out there and drop stinker. We expect him to put in top performances in probably our toughest game of the season. This could be the toughest ground to go away and win. Anfield, Etihad. We expect him to drop a top-notch performance. I'm not sure. It would be cowardly to rush him back to play him because you have Eze. Eze is better in that career space. So this might be the most anxious build-up to a lineup release since the preseason one where we're hoping Gyökeres starts against Bilbao. Because that one was giving us a snapshot into what he was going to start away at Old Trafford, match week 1. But this one is going to be key. And if a lot of people are going to renege on their prediction when the lineup comes out, or they're going to have more chest. When the lineup comes out, man, then we'll be like, oh, bro, I don't think we can beat Liverpool with that lineup. Or it's going to be, oh, this lineup, you know what? Let's have a go. I like our chance. But warm up tomorrow, me and the Waffle Don, we'll go through our predictions. I have a feeling that me and Waffle Don are going to be way off with our predictions. But big up to Brazil. Big up to you. BX, Simmons already said he wants Chelsea only. Fair? I guess he fancies himself against those other 10, 11 attacking players that are at Chelsea. I think we're getting Garnacho. Yes, Gunner, man. Come on, dog. Come on, man. Nah, brother. You know what? None of this. Oh, don't let him bring that Amarim stench over here, man. We're too close to the top. To do the slippery slope thing and go back down. Remember, Arsenal says Stelterby is due to UEFA FFP rules, not PSR, Premier League PSR rules. FFP requires a specific evaluation of transfer fee and getting salaries off the books. Okay. Gary here educating us with FFP versus PSR. Appreciate you, G Money. That's why you are G Money. Have all the fiscal knowledge. Question: does it profit a club to win a lucky trophy and nobody wants to play? But one of them had to win it. It was either them. So essentially, we have Spurs to thank for yesterday. Someone, I think it was LFC Monster earlier, that said that football won yesterday. So we have Spurs to thank for that, partially. Because the reason why United had to play in the second round of the EFL Cup is they're not in Europe. They're not in Europe because they didn't win against Spurs in the final. So I would say big up Spurs, but I can't say big up Spurs, so we'll imply it. Milan picking up Nkunku is a solid pickup. Yeah. Premier League game for him. Does not provide, it's just Premier League game for certain players. But I can't tell you how many of them Chelsea fans told me in the 2023-2024 season. Wait till Nkunku gets fit. Wait till Nkunku gets fit. Well, he got fit. He was shit. But the narrative ran and it spilled over in 2024-2025. Wait till Nkunku gets fit. Wait till Nkunku gets fit. Well, he got fit and he did not cook. Big up, Simone. Hope you are well, my dear. Hope you're having a fantastic day out there in New York City. Everyone, check out the links provided by AJ. Spread the love, BBK Sports Family. Oh, that's too kind, man. That is far too kind of you, Gary. Just stay connected, guys. Yes, that signing would be counterproductive, in my opinion. Bertha won't allow Arteta to mess this up. I think Bertha, sometimes it's torn whether or not he wants Arteta to go step on his own flank. Because if Arteta goes, believe me, Bertha has someone in mind who he knows will can manage this football club. One, because it's part of his job. Two, he knows he's been around long enough to know that Arteta isn't all that and a bag of chips. And as a sporting director, it would be a dereliction of your duties for you not to have a backup in mind. Because should this go pear shaped, because football comes at you fast. Football comes at you rapidly. You go on a 3-game skid in this Premier League, and man, you can find yourself nowhere near where you thought you would be. And having spent the money that we've spent, the expectations that we have, we must. We absolute must. But we put a must on Manchester United yesterday, and they didn't must. They mustied up and smelt up the place. So what a day in football. Big up to 25 of you locked in, people. Make sure you are hitting the like button. It is free. It does help the channel. It does feed the algorithm and get it out to other football connoisseurs, other football savants, other football consumers. And we welcome the discussions over here. We're not soft skin. We get quite a few people who come over here from the other side and have healthy debates. But when you stick to the facts and you use the facts, logic, and rationale to formulate your opinions, you usually have a solid foundation to stand on. That's why we're not wishy-washy over here, because we stick real. Yes, you are welcome, my dear. Denada Bitterstein. 16 likes, says AJ. Okay, we vibing, we move, one at a time. Yes, gonna totally understand that train of thought. Yeah, that's fine. Actually, we are all love what Amarim is doing to United. 5 more years, and I can't tell you how many streams that I've been on with other content creators who make excuses for Arteta. Yeah, they make excuses for Arteta and put standards on Amarim. Conversely, I've seen many of us, and I say us, I'm talking about the fan base in general, no separation, make excuses for Arteta and put standards on Amarim, put standards on Maresca, put standards on Ange and Emery. But a lot of them let our manager off the hook. And Anfield away, it's a tough place to go. But at this stage, are we not primed to get a win there? Are we not? We'll be primed to get a win. Take care. You can take a step forward with the Unai Emery thing, because you've had many debates on whether or not you are better than Unai Emery debate, Arteta or Emery. Well, under Emery we never went to Anfield and won. Should Arteta go to Anfield and win? It would be a massive boost for the club, for the fans, for him, for his ego. But not an easy task. But it's not supposed to be easy. It's not supposed to be easy, isn't it? You get paid. You're the second highest paid manager in the league. You're the second longest tenured manager in the league. At some point, the stakes have to be raised, right? Please like the stream, says AJ. Yes, man. Yes, man. Yes, man. And congrats on 1.6. We're moving. We're almost at 1.6, 1.65. So if you aren't subscribed already, 19 people watching. If you are a non-subscriber, please consider subscribing to the channel. Free. Even West Ham was wise enough to stay away from Amarim. What it is, right? He speaks well. He's a used car salesman. That's what he is, right? But even with a used car salesman, if you ask him the right questions, they trust him. If you take him off your script, because used cars, people who are frauds, they have a script, and nothing interrupts or ruffles the feathers of someone who is trying to stay on script than key questions that they were not expecting. Part of his script is part of his plan. Be nice to the media, give them long, emotional, passionate answers, make them want to interview you. But yesterday, and in Europe, you'll see it, right? When reporters who aren't bound by Premier League press passes, reporters who aren't covering the Premier League week in, week out, because they're covering La Liga, they can ask you tough questions. And when they were asking yesterday when he said the player's performance spoke loudly or something like that, and the reporter said, "What do you mean by that?" He wasn't expecting that question. So that's when he got ruffled, basically saying these players are shit. Well, Cunha isn't shit. We know he isn't. We know Cunha is a top player. Let's go. He rejected us for you, man. Top player. We know Embuemo isn't shit. He's a top player. 20 Premier League goals a season. Playing with a second striker. It's still good players. So you can't be out here blaming your players, my bro. In my opinion, no one wants out of United also. No. Evan is good there. Evan is good there. You're getting a fantastic wage, playing heavy minutes. You're gonna be an international, and you're paid well. You're always on prime time to showcase your skill. You'll see a draw starting soon. What time is it start? Yeah, I think Aaron and Matt has a show lined up for that. Yeah, I'll make sure I'm off the air by then, so I can go put my feet up and check that out. But I do have physical therapy later too, still. But yeah, away at Anfield is our business because make no mistake about it, Arsenal fans. Because we've been crashing it on Man United today and yesterday, they want to crash it back on someone next, and that's how football goes, isn't it? So the two clubs that they hate the most play this week: Liverpool, Arsenal. United is they're going to try to crash it on one of us, whoever loses. If it's a 1-1, 0-0, 2-2, they won't have much to say. But whoever loses, United fans are going to pile on. Yesterday on the Red Pill podcast, E-Man tried to nip that in the bud and told him, man, you can't chat with no one, bro. You just have to whisper. You know, they still want to hear it. They're going to be saying it. They're going to try to crash it on someone. Now, our manager, and this best defense in the Premier League, and and our number 10 signing, our new number 6, and Captain Fantastic. I do believe he's going to start. By the way, right wing and our gunman Gyökeres. Is that enough to trouble Liverpool? We'll see. We saw Liverpool concede 2 set pieces to a 10-man Newcastle team. We are the kings of the set pieces, right? Ole, ole, ole. Set piece FC. We're better than set pieces than anyone. I think we scored off a set piece in each game so far. We scored off a set piece versus the very first corner we got. We scored. The very first one. The Calafiore corner was our first corner when we scored. Now, yeah, hopefully we can get one into the rough for Liverpool just a little bit. That institution killed Alexis for 3 years before he was reborn at Inter. Well, I didn't even remember. Yeah, you did it. Not only players, man, they're killing coaches. They are killing coaches. Like Jose was Jose, and then he went United, and yeah, he did. I think he delivered a Europa League there, but he still didn't leave there on good terms. You know, Ten Hag, other vibes, man, still didn't. Dead. My 4-year-old can read better than can't butter bread right there. Onana. Like someone tells me he put oil on his glove. He put something on his gloves. It's a weird one, right? Because you don't want your gloves to be slippery. And it looks like man got his hand to quite a few of those. Like his wrist must be weak. Because he got his I think I counted 4 or 5 times he got his hand to the ball and the ball still rifled in the net. So, like boxers have a weak chin and you're practicing, you train to have a strong chin. Man has a weak chin, a weak hand, and he just kept. I'm loving this. I'm absolutely loving it. Onana puts Vaseline on his glove. Yeah, I don't think any of you men ever played goalkeeper because I've never seen any of my goalies ever when I played in Germany, when I played here. Any goalkeeper put Vaseline. I don't know. Is that the superstitious type of voodoo type shit that he's done personally since he started playing football? I don't see the competitive advantage that putting something slippery on the gloves that's we're meant to be able to That's tough. It's a weird one. Amarim suggests in his interview that players have done tools. He kinda. That's part of his media training. Like he's trained very well, right? Speaks very well. Great communicator. That's part of being a leader. Right? But when he says the players' performance speak loudly, yeah, it's kind of but like, but bro, the front line is yours. Right? Sesko, Cunha, and then Bueno, that's yours. Um, Mano, the rest of them, like we've seen Mano have good performances, and you're ready to ship him out. You know, it's there are good players in the squad. Do we think that Thomas Frank, as the manager, that team goes out yesterday? The team that he put out, not the subs that he make, having to bring the big guns on, but the team that he put out yesterday. Do you think Thomas Frank or Iraola lose to Grimsby with that team? I'm not sure. And a part of it was tactical because their press looked disjointed. You know, watching Dorgu and pick up the hand Dorgu when they're in the building. It was Dorgu and Maynard that got bodied off the ball for the first goal. But, you know, it's this can't run, LFC Monster. It can't run. That excuse cannot run. Last year they weren't saying this. Try to do a combined 11 Man United fans. They try to get all their players in. So these players are good, and he got three good new players. He shouldn't be going out to a League Two side. He just needs another career. I'm a goalkeeper myself. It's absolute madness Onana does. Speak on it, Godfrey. You're highly qualified to speak on this subject. But I've never seen anyone do that. So why? He just want it to be his thing, his moniker. Just like Higuita was the crazy goalkeeper that used to make stays with his feet, stays with his feet instead of using his hand. Like everyone likes their own niche, but at what cost? When you're under pressure, the way you're under pressure, you've lost your starting Premier League job to a guy that doesn't start for any other Premier League team. You let what 12 penalties go past you? 12. Shit, Simmons, the Spurs is getting closer. Yeah, Spurs are definitely needing an upgrade. The Gibbs White, I think City has said no, hard no to the Savinho thing. City has said nope. We're keeping him. The Rodrigo to City is dead. If Rodrigo to City is dead, City is keeping Savinho. And Tottenham are doing that. Arsenal, 134 million pounds get you Rodrigo. It gets you him. Even with the 34 of it going to Piero. 100 million pounds. I think 80 million pounds gets you Rodrigo. Seriously. If you bid 80 million euro, I think Real Madrid listens. 80 million euro potential add-ons, get it up to 90. They'll listen to that. Then my chest is out. Then I'm fully goosebumped. Because what I'm hearing from the people who watch Nkape before, that man, Mr. Bat said he's really good, sensational Ecuadorian, got a whole lot of fight in him. Our defense is already good. It's been bolstered. But you give me a Eze, you give me Gyökeres and a Rodrigo with that extra 134 million pounds, I'm here for it. I'm saying, well done, Berta. Your move, Arteta. Big up to the Waffle Down in the building. My brother. The warm-up tomorrow, 8 p.m. UK. 4 p.m. UK time, 8 a.m. my time is what I meant to say, people. Sometimes it's very difficult to keep it up with my time zone. Good afternoon, and all watching late to the show. YouTube is doing you dirty again. No notification coming through. You know what? I might start streaming directly from YouTube. It might be StreamYard that's kicking me over. Yeah, or I just need to go into my settings and do like a reset reboot. But big up to Hendo, man. Big up to you, my brother. If you don't get the notifications, whenever you do watch, just make sure you're hitting the likes, and then maybe YouTube will make sure that it sends you the notification. But I apologize for that if it's something that I did on my behalf. We're on 19 likes. Fair enough. Yeah, that's it. The interviewer asked him what he meant by that. He replied back, "You know what I mean." Yep. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna say these players are shit, but I'm not saying that these players are shit. Read between the lines. He can't be in charge of. It must be Burnley. This is their ultimate must. Then again, I said that about Burnley. Grimsby. I laughed at the thought that they could lose against Grimsby. And when I turned the TV on, them man 2-0 down, I was like, nah, surely they turned this around at halftime. So when them Buemo scored, I was like, okay, here we go. This is what I expected. And then Maguire scored. I'm like, okay, this is what I expected. But then I lost context of the game and realized that Grimsby should have been 3-0 up from that Maguire back pass. You know? So comprehensively, Grimsby did the damn thing. Oh, it's a mad one. It's not crazy. He just ain't got it. He ain't got it. But I will not change. I will not change. Big up to you, my waffle don brother. Ain't nothing wrong with being busy at work, my bro. The bills got to be paid. They must need to get stowed so Leipzig can pay up for Elliot. Okay. Liverpool trying to move some funds around. Well, LFC, you got what? 3 days? 4 days to get the Isak deal done? I thought I would have been waking up Tuesday morning after the Isak derby between Liverpool and Newcastle. That Isak move is starting to pick up legs now after the match is blown over. But it doesn't look like it, because the reason why I'm saving my top 6, bottom 3, Golden Glove, Golden Boot winner till 1 September when the window closes is because one of the reasons is where Isak goes changes things for me. It does Rodrigo move. That changes things for me. Javi Simmons or any other Tottenham reinforcements can change for Tottenham finish in the top 6. So that's why. Waiting. There's the link to my brother, the Waffle Don. If you haven't subscribed already, please do so. LFC Monster. If we lose to Burnley at the weekend, if United used to Burnley at the weekend, then Amarin would have to walk. He's not walking, man. He's not walking. But they win against Burnley, and it gives them a lifeline, right? It gives them a lifeline going into the weekend, into the international weekend, so they can fix all the things they didn't get to fix in the entire preseason that they had that they told us that they needed. He just needs a preseason. My brother, man had a preseason in this season, right? And after Burnley, it's City and Chelsea. They have so, but they do get up for the big games, is what they say. Don't forget the Fulham drop points and they're going out the cup. They did play well against Arsenal. They battered us. Remember? Big up to Sean. Sean said, "Big up to Aaron. Big up to the chat. I would even see if Rodrigo would come on loan. No obligation to buy. Just come help us challenge for trophies and get over the line. Maybe he'll want to stay after that." And that's fair. That's definitely fair because we've seen that happen many a time. But I would want at least the option. At least the option for us to buy him because he's not going to play. Now, if Rodrigo is okay sitting at Real Madrid, and when Vinicius throws a tantrum and gets himself sent off, because he'll get at least 3 red cards this season, or he's injured and needs to be rotated, then cool. But then you question his mentality because, bro, we know how important traditionally World Cup football is to Brazilian players. And as it currently stands, you've heard Carlo. Carlo actually came out and spoke on this last week when he said, you need to report to the national team in full shape, in full fit match shape. You're not getting full fit match shape playing 20, 30 minutes a game in Madrid. You're not. And the fact that Xavi started him the weekend, and then Vinicius came on and scored and got an assist, you saw he was upset when he came on. Like, bro, Real Madrid is the biggest club in the world. We will all concede and agree to that. Yes, it is. But it's not the end of football. Football is bigger than Real Madrid. You can go have a footballing career elsewhere. You be limiting yourself to Madrid because it's your dream. Right? You have to want who want you. Like that. But big up to Sean. Endo, Amarim should have started with a full first team. go up a few goals and then take off player. It's not as tough as they are in Europe and they have a fixture. Yeah. Not as though they're in Europe and they have a fixture congestion. Yeah, fair play. Great point. Because the good thing that you said this, Endo, because now I see the AFC kind of published, because we have drawn Port Vale, they published a possible lineup and they took all of our starters out. All of our main starters out for the possible lineup that will start against Port Vale. And Port Vale is a League One side, not a League Two side. I'm like, let's be careful with this Arsenal. Let's not make the mistake that them men made. Because here's the thing: the lineup that they had was Kepa in goal, which I think will play. We had White, Kelly, Nkape, and Mascara. That's our back five. Then in the six, in the midfield, it was Norgard, Moreno, Dowman, and then Ethan, who was striker? Trossard and Martinelli. It was like that. That probably could beat Port Vale, but I always get a little bit nervous when you rotate an entire 11. You know, I know, and that's the thing. Part of Plymouth, part of Grimsby. When Manchester United comes to town, you get up for it. It's not if Grimsby was playing against Burnley, the level of intensity would not be what we saw yesterday. It's because they know they will make news if they beat Manchester United. So when we do go to Port Vale, we must take the game seriously. Respect is a very important part of football. Big up to Johnny Boy. Big up to you, bro. Hope you are well. Didn't say anything in the super chat, but I thank you for it. If you got anything that you wanted to say that didn't type in the message, just type it in the chat, not a super chat, and I will read it out. Because I do know that YouTube and StreamYard act funny sometimes that you wanted to say something but didn't. But if you just don't send another super chat if you wanted to say something, just put it in the chat as a regular comment. And thank you again, sir. Where was I? We're on 21 likes, people. Thank you very much. Greatly appreciated. Big up to Boy 10 in the building. Yeah, here. The Grimsby goalkeeper is a United fan too. Yeah, he said that. It's one of their. Yo, LFC Monster just keeps compounding it, you know. Big up, Sabi Pinky. Bad boom boom, girl. Hope you're good, baby girl. Manners and respect. Yeah? Yes, man. One of their own knocked him out. He said this. He did say it. Man, he said I'm half gutted. No, you're not. Get happy. Because we know your name now, bro. You probably gained at least another 10,000 followers on your Instagram last night. Pick up to 30 of you locked in, people. Make sure you are staying with us. Appreciate the numbers. Appreciate you very, very much. And he won't lose that game. He wants to play in that form. He wants that player from Brighton. Fair. Big up Sean, bigging up AJ. Some self-respect and pride has to come into at that point and walk in the best up. Yeah, but then he walks and then he goes home and his wife slapped the shit out of him and be like, "You walked away from $6 million when we have children, where we know you probably have committed career suicide coming here because you won't get another big job. So why leave without the money?" You remember Shatters back in the day when the man said, "Take the weed and left the money, no? Take the what? And left the what?" Nah, he ain't walking. You know, Ruben, just walk and take it. Nope, not walking. United lost to Grimsby. Say it one more time for the people in the back, Boy 10. They lost to Grimsby. Oy, Rodrigo has to see Martinelli get called up. Brother, this has to sting. This has to burn him, BX Gunner. When he sees this, he's got to be like, there is no way. You know what? I hope this burns him to the point where he was like, you know what? This guy's getting called up before me. I'm going to go to his club and take his job to show that I'm better. Because we know he is. We know that Rodrigo is twice the player as Martinelli. Twice. So it's what it is. We've done this at our level when we see men who we know we're better than get picked over us. And you get on the pitch and you be like, Coach, I'm going to show you that I'm going to lace my boots. You know what I'm saying? This is, yeah, Rodrigo, yeah, let that sink in. Great point, BS Gunner. I respect that. Chelsea player saying, bring on PSG. Man, got chess. Oh, shit. Okay. Have the draw coming on. Whatever. John Boy says, Johnny Boy says, Rodrigo would rather rot on the bench than leave Madrid. Yeah, I don't know if I respect that, Johnny Boy. You know what I'm saying? Like if we're told all the time, footballers want to play football. Bro, go play football. Real Madrid is the biggest club in football, but football is bigger than Real Madrid. You know what I'm saying? There's the link for Boy 10 people. Boy 10 does do content. I am subscribed. So make sure we go show him some love because he shows us love every single day. EBK, our Spurs going for Rodrigo. That's all I'm going to say. I like what you did there, the assembled. I like it. Yeah, we're waiting for Arsenal are waiting for he has agreed to personal terms. And as soon as he's agreed to personal terms, bang, bamba. As soon as he agrees to personal terms, you will hear this from Arsenal Football Club. Whenever where is it? Whenever Fabrizio or what's his name, Ornstein drops it, agreed to personal terms, you turn on the Sky Sports and then you'll hear breaking news. Yep, you'll hear breaking news. Breaking news. Arsenal are linked with shock move for said player. Big up to Johnny Boy, man. I appreciate you, bro. I should have trusted my instinct when it comes to United. No amount of signings is saving that club. Yeah, they have spent a lot of money and still look cheap. You know what I'm saying? Boy, walked out the St. Laurent store and still look like a bum. Sabi, big up to you again, baby girl, member of the channel. Thank you for your support. They're praying, not praying on Saeed's emergency stream. I will be there, Saeed. I think Saeed loves to make himself look crazy. Because one of the reasons why I don't do watch-alongs, people, is that. Because you see that Saeed, yeah? When Arsenal Football Club play, I am worse. I'm a complete lunatic when Arsenal Football Club plays. And I can't do it. Because you see those plaques behind me, yeah? Now, a lot of the people that I led have seen me in very, very stressful situations, and I was the calmest one. I can't let them see me like, how is Chief letting 11 blokes that he's never seen rattle him this way when he was the one keeping us calm when we were taking fire? You know what I'm saying? So I can't. I'm a complete lunatic when Arsenal Football Club play, when we have a meltdown. So, yeah, I'm not ready for that type of smoke. Enough respect, Sabi girl. Big up to you. If you can't win against a League 2 team with Cunha, Tesco, and Buemo, and Ahmad, they'll put Ahmad in there, and Dorgu. Yeah. Big starting lineup. Big starting lineup. And who else? Ugarte. Yeah. Right out. Criminal behavior from Man United. Now, I just thought I subscribed ages. My bad. It's all good, my brother. It's all good, man. Thank you for your subscription, and thanks again for the super chat. I think Hendo and Johnny having a conversation amongst themselves. There is huge games in the UCL again. We could play 2 out of Bayern, Barca, Madrid, Dortmund, Inter, PSG. Brother, I'm excited to watch because we're in part 2. Man City are in part 1. Them men didn't even make it out of qualification rounds. They didn't get to the round of 16 and they're in part 1. And we got to the semifinal and we're in part 2. Make this shit make sense. Jesus Christ, man. Like sometimes, football just, we take the simple shit and make it complicated. But it's one of them. What do we do? Whoever, home and away, don't care who we get. We must. The absolute must. Darren says, Antaron Rodrigo, we get a pay raise at Arsenal too. Man is a joker. That's Sesco behavior. Facts. There's an open slot. Not open, but it's Martinelli. So for all intents and purposes, it's open if you are Rodrigo, if you have that skill. So you just want to stay at Madrid and right on the bench, like Johnny said, and just like, come on, bro, you have to do better. You want to be drawn against the big guns and make the league phases much more exciting. I think we'll get at least two of the big guns. At least two. We get two big guns. We're gonna get two big guns. Three meh, and another two mid. But I expect top eight. None of the extra game thing. Don't want no parts of it. Even on Newcastle game, Saeed said, "What's Rhea gonna do? He can't stop himself." He has made himself must-see TV. Pick up the Jagan and say, "Yo, BBK, are you a DJ as well? Yeah, I have some subliminal music, jam snippets. Yeah, man, I got them all in there. I do DJ. I do private parties and gigs like that, and I only started doing that. Oh, the music at the thing. But when the music became trash, I started making my own mixes. Because you would buy a CD or download a mix, and there'd be two good songs on there. Back in the day, good music would find you. Good music will be made, and it would made it to your radio, to your tape deck, to your. Now you want good music, you have to go find it. So that so when I'm not listening to content, I'm making music or doing mixes and stuff like that. But yeah, man, big up to you every single time. 25 likes, says the assembled. Appreciate that, people. To be fair, I want to see us play Dortmund or Inter out of those 6. Okay. Yeah, I think Inter are gonna. I think Inter are gonna go on a decline this year. They got too many old people, man. They're too damn old. United really got a BBL when they needed a hip replacement. Maybe the man just ate the rain, but right, it was raining for Grimsby too, isn't it? It wasn't raining on one side of the pitch. If you let them tell it, it was only raining on one side. Arsenal are like 14th in the coefficient rankings, I believe. And that's bulls. You know what I'm saying? You get to the semi. So is the coefficient for this year's run gonna kick in next year? Because Man City's coefficient should have been lower based on their form and getting put out. You know what I'm saying? Because Man City won the UCL 3 seasons ago and made it to 2. Okay, so it's the coefficient is a bigger body of work that they analyze. Okay, the Arsenal went, but we were in part 1 last year, right? After a quarterfinal run, we were in part 1. Or am I crazy? I swear to God, Arsenal were in part 1 for last year's draw after a quarterfinal run. So we go in a semifinal run. Surely your coefficient should increase, right? Because we went into part 2 based on not even being in the Champions League for 6 years. And then the quarterfinal run put us in part 1. Now a semifinal run should put us in part 2. We were? Okay. All right, Hendo. Gotcha. So next year, after a semifinal run, and we're winning it this year, right? We're winning the Champions League this year. Yeah? Yeah. So next year we should be. Or, I don't know. Or maybe if you're the league winners, right? If you win your league, if you're a Premier League champion, you probably, if you're a domestic champion, you should get put in part 1, yeah? Something like that. But it's, it's gonna say this suspect. So either way, City are not in part 1. City are in part 1 because we've had, oh, okay, that's you. You had that guy in charge. Simone said, "True about the music." Hey man, thank you, Simone. I'm glad you appreciate it. And I try to do something different. The content market is very saturated, so I do like to have a good time while I'm on stream. That's why I play the jams in the background. So when I do pause, let's jam, because if people do listen to this in their car, sometimes I wonder if it's too loud or I need to turn it up a little bit. But I'll do whatever the hell the comment section says. If the comment section told me to turn it off, I'll turn it off. To be fair, Saeed had 19K viewers at the moment. Brother, I saw that. LFC, when he had the mask on and he was throwing shit off the wall, I was like 19K. So people know who Saeed is at the end of the result. Won't watch it, went directly to see the meltdown when he got that surge. 19K is mad, mad. And half of those 19K were rivals. The Man United fans left the stream. Didn't know you made your own music. You're right. The music today is dead. I can't listen to it. Brother, it's dead, man. Like every time, and this is the thing, when I travel with my wife and I turn the radio on, it's Glorilla that comes on. Whether it's 2 in the morning, 2 a.m., it's the Glorilla. Yeah, ho. How are you in music and you can't even stay on beat? You can't even write a rhythm. You're in the studio. Bro, I know the local dude around the corner that can write a beat. And you're supposed to be a professional musician and can't stay on key. Mad one. Suspect. Yeah. And I appreciate you educating me on that, Hendo. I thought it was a 3 year window max. But the fact that Arsenal weren't in it for however long, and then we got thrust straight back into pot two is suspect in and of itself. We should have been in pot four. But I guess because we came second in our league, I don't know, man. BBK, have you explored the Twitch platform where music is concerned? I have not. I have not. I probably should, innit? Like I've been told that I need to get on Discord, and I need to get on TikTok, and I need to get on X. But Twitter's just a cesspool of everything other than football. You know what I mean? Like I'm only on Instagram so I can be contacted by other people who want to message me about content and stuff like that. Because obviously I can't give my damn number. I don't, you know what I'm saying? But my email is on the YouTube thing. But I just think, everyone is telling me to do it, and I might succumb to the pressure. But if it were left up to me, I would go nowhere near Twitter, nowhere near TikTok. But I might have to, look into the Twitch thing because I hear there's a lot more flexibility with copyrights and stuff that you can do on there. Arsenal will be in part 3 next season. Oh my days! Oh, awful died. You funny, Big up to the Latvian Guna. Make sure you go check out the Latvian Guna people. The Latvian Guna will be live today at 8 p.m. UK time. Expression gets the most when Spurs are losing. Yeah, bro. I see these numbers be ridiculous. Everything sounds the same. Yep, the music. It's just I don't even know if we can call it music at this point. It's just absolute bin juice. I just listened to the music from the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s, and early 2000s. I rarely listen to anything from the current day. Yeah, I'm in group chats with other people. Sometimes they be talking about this song and this artist and that artist, and I'm like, bro, I don't know what you are talking about. When it comes to modern day music, I'm the old get off my lawn guy. I don't know any of this stuff. And it's cool. I lost track of the music when they stopped using words. Yeah, I think in like 2003, 2004, 2005, Nas made an album called Hip Hop Is Dead, and everyone laughed at it. Who's laughing now? Who the hell is laughing now? Because it's completely dead. He was right. See, first they call you crazy, then they understand. Yeah, but I can't listen to it, man. I can't listen to none of that madness. Big up to Mr. Robo in the building. But yes, people, it is what it is. Arsenal Football Club going into Sunday, a super Sunday showdown against Liverpool Football Club. Vians on Thursday, Nas lost tapes is fire. Yeah, they called him crazy when he said it was done. They said he was absolutely done, and man said hip hop was dead, and he was right. Simone is still with us. It is what I'm happy I've been for the last 25 years in the EDM, old school trance, house, and everything. None of it is Gucci gang crap. Right up. There is no words. Like I'm sitting next to someone, the Lil Wayne song is on. A song called Can't Believe It with him and T-Pain back in the day. And I'm sitting next to the biggest Lil Wayne fan, and the song is on. And I asked her, what'd he say? What'd he say? You were just singing it, Lil Wayne. He's not using words. Then I have to educate the young people. And I say, rap, R-A-P is an acronym. They think it's just a word that was thrown in the dictionary. R-A-P is an acronym for rhythm and poetry. So you have to use words. And I told them that you do know that rap means rhythm and poetry. And they were like, oh, I didn't know that. And I just have to tell them, hey, lean in for a little bit. and then I slap the shit out of them because they have the most to say on the music, but don't know what the hell the music is. Rhythm and poetry. R&B is rhythm and blues. They don't even know that. And part of that is our fault, yeah, because they can't educate themselves. We have to tell them, we have to teach them, but they have to be willing to learn. They have to be willing to listen. You know what I'm saying? But the the I don't know any new music. I heard I heard there was a beef right now in dancehall with some dude named Molly Don and Alkaline or something. I'm like, brother, I don't know. I don't know what the hell is going on. I still listen to 50 Cent. Mid 2000s towards the end of 2009. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That being good. Who? It's madness. It's absolute madness. But most of the music that I'm ingratiated in, if I play on here, I would get copyrights. Willie Dilly and Alkaline, those are the breads and batteries, no? So Alkaline is a dancehall artist, and he was supposed to take over when Vibes Cartel went to prison because he did have a very hot spell in the music, and it just, yeah, the music is trash, man. It's absolute trash. And this is the thing: when you tell them that the music is trash, they just call you old, and then you play some real music for them, and then they do that. So you rather listen to this than someone screaming and crying on a track. Oh my days! Yes. What happened to the music sampled to death? Yeah, sampled to death. If you want to know, see old school music meets new school music, check out Pete and Bass. Hey, see, appreciate that LFC monster. I'm gonna check that out. I'm definitely gonna check that out. Darren Martin, you ain't missing out. It's funny how the young nieces and nephews are listening to their parents' collection of the 70s and 80s and 90s and can't understand modern music. So yeah, the crazy thing is, right, Hendo Gunner, and Darren can appreciate this. In like 2005, Baby Sham had made a song called Get a Story, right? And it started out with this a survival story. We'll get a story. And they thought that was an original, and the melody was beautiful. But then we have to remind them that was a sample from, I think his name was Mike Henry or something back in the 1970s. Then you play it for them, and then they were like, "Oh my God, that's where that came from." We're like, yeah, the new generation is sampling most of the stuff from the other, because the previous generation didn't have all this fancy stuff with technology to make beautiful music. So the talent had to be there. All this extra stuff that they have on the stage now wasn't there for them. It was them and the microphone and this crowd. So the talent had to be here. The performance was blown into the microphone, not the explosion and the production and all this other craziness. Like that. Jagan said, BBK, don't even get me started on dancehall. Check if I had my thing that 80s dancehall through the 90s. Get the glory, brother. I wish the DJ Unapologetic Podcast was in here today. I'm gonna send this clip. I'm gonna click this and send it to him because he is fully immersed into the dancehall space. Straight from the 36th chamber, it's the zoo. Zimmerman with the tiger style in midfield. Big up the Hendo Guna. If you know, you know. BX gonna. Simone agreeing with Hendo from the 60s, 70s, and 80s. 90% of today's music is sampled and stolen from the host. Facts. And every song I hear is like, oh, yep, I heard that in the 90s. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. Like even a more recent one, like Burna Boy. Burna Boy, people didn't even know that, the young generation didn't even know that Burna Boy had sampled Tony Braxton. You know what I'm saying? They did not know Burna Boy had sampled Tony Braxton. It's a mad one. Man, did my YouTube just go out? Yeah, Burna Boy's last whatever was a Tony Braxton from 2000. But they're so young, dumb, and full of cum that they don't even know it. I said, roses are red, violets are blue, baby. Extra stuff. You mean Nikki Torkin? Yeah, all the extra stuff. There's the stuff that's other than the music. Cardi B's biggest breakout song, that Bodak Yellow, there was no bars in there. There was no bars in there, but they think it's, I guess the music has evolved beyond the talent. I was like that when I was growing up with Eminem, not knowing till older he sampled old school tunes. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like part of it is respect and paying homage to the older people. No computers to be an artist. Now you had to have talent. Speak on it. Interesting that bands playing the massive world tours are. Yep, this is it. This is it, Hendo. Yep, and still selling out. Still selling out. Guns N' Roses, Coldplay. Now I'm going to tell a little story time, right? Damn, I was supposed to be off here, but that was a story time. Shabba Ranks, right? All of you man know Shabba. I was in Florida one time, and Shabba had a concert, and the Shabba wasn't making albums or doing anything at the time. I was like, nah, Shabba, we'll go there late. Ain't nobody going to that, because it's Shabba. He's not the latest and greatest. We showed up around 10 o'clock. The line was about 10 blocks down and wrapped around four corners around. That's how many people was there, because of the body of work that he put in the 80s and 90s. You know what I'm saying? It's the old school Guns N' Roses, Coldplay, and Metallica. Yep, there it is. But the new age music, man, is absolutely madness. Does any of the artists have to use actual? No, everything is electronic drums. There's no band. You know, dude, you got to go to music chat GPT, throwing 5 words, and it makes a song. You go viral, boom. Then none of this mastering craft from 1 month for one song is pathetic. Yeah, and they just loop it around. It's the same. Just loop it around. It's a 2 minute song, but it's really one verse. It's verse, bridge, hook, bridge, hook, one verse, but the song loops around 4 times. It's criminal. Metallica, Bethel, and those tours are in stadiums, 50, 60,000 people. They're not in those small theaters either. Cardi B never wrote a bar in her life. Yeah, that's the thing. You had pride in your own music back then, isn't it? Big up to Dal. Oasis on the North American leg of their world tour. Imagine that world tour, my bro. That's why I love when Armin and someone once in a while does old school versus new school vinyl. When you need sync and vinyl scratch your own, make your own effects. Such a vibe. Nothing pre-recorded on USB. Facts, man. I don't know about that. They don't know about that. It's a yeah, man, young, dumb, and full of cum. I think they know everything. They think they're full of knowledge, but they don't know nothing. Yeah. But people, big up to every single one I own, You know the thing, big up to every single one of you. It's what? 1:22. I'm gonna go get some breakfast and go check out this UCL draw. And then it's on to physical therapy. But people, I appreciate that little musical divestiture that we just went on there. One of the days when I'm on doing a watch along when it's not Arsenal. Or if I work up the courage up to do an Arsenal watch along, we can chat about everything and all that. Yeah. Big up to every single one of you, man. ACDC, hey, gal. Yeah, ACDC, man. Spinning those records back in the 70s and 80s was mad. But people, like I always say, take care of yourselves and each other. Until next time, we are gone.